Hey guys, I'm here to talk about the arena system that's coming up in SOA's upcoming relaunch. And this is something I think people have been wanting for a long time. A few things just to clarify about an arena system. The game does get a bit dry if everyone's just addicted to playing 1v1s in an arena, because obviously you're not going to be in the overworld, you're not going to be playing as a team, you're just going to be focused on doing one-on-ones. But this is a PvP game at heart. So I don't think there's anything inherently bad about having an arena system, but you'll find that as we have other events going on, capture the points, war-related stuff, missions, other events, like the arena is not going to be available, 24/7 on the game. It will be available frequently and in a semi-automated way, but it doesn't need to be always on because it kind of kills the game a little bit, makes it a little bit antisocial. That being said, let's take a little look at it. And I'll walk you through some of the logic. So here's the arena window. It's boring right now. This is basically a screen of people who have queued into the game to play in the arena. You'll notice that no one's here, but if I click join queue, I show up, I can pop out. And, in a game that actually has live players, you'd expect there to be several players sitting in this queue. There is a card system. I like the idea of a card system. This is what it looks like to change your card. The idea here is just for it to be some level of cosmetic. The SSR here is the rank. That's actually based on the ELO. Anything over 10,000 is, or I don't know if 10,000 is actually the cutoff, but there are certain cutoffs for different rarities on your card, and it just shows up based on your ELO rating. So SSR is obviously the best. We'll see if this changes or not. So the way it kind of breaks off right now is anything under 1,000 ELO, you're a common, a rank C. Anything over 1,000 is a rank NC for not common. Anything over 3,000 is rare R. Anything over 5,000 is SR, and anything over or equal to 7,000 is SSR. There'll be other ranks, sub-ranks, and really meaningfully in the ELO system, every 1,000 points is a meaningful cutoff. I'll explain why in a bit, but for now, the idea is that there's a few attributes you can change on your card: your pose, your frame, your background. Obviously, the background is this component of the card. Your pose is what your character's doing. Let's have him, with chakra in the background, do a little ceiling thing. The frame is this component of the card. So say we wanted to go with like a green theme. And these little badges are supposed to just be fun little things to show off a little bit more about your character. These are, in theory, the idea is that frames, backgrounds, poses, and badges are unlockables. You don't just start with all of them. But for now, we're testing it out. So this is what our card's going to look like. And I can hit save, and it'll save it. If I hit export, it'll actually let me extract a PNG of my card for whatever, forum signatures or Discord avatars or whatever you want to use them for. I don't really care. I hit save, join queue. There's my guy. You'll see my ELO is 10,350. I'll probably have to mess with that font a little bit because it's a bit hard to read. But yeah, that's the card. Now, we need some other people to be in the queue since this is not currently a hosted game, so I have some verbs that force NPCs into the queue. So I'm going to say, you're forced in the queue. And now if I go back to that arena window, there we go. Now you'll notice that the Leaf Guard has an ELO of 500. He's got a level of 72. I've got an ELO of 10,350 and a level of 100. So the way the matchmaking works, it will matchmake you eventually to someone who's way worse than you or way better than you. But by default, the tolerance for how close your level and ELO rating need to be is very small. And then the longer you wait in the queue, the more liberal the game gets at matching you. So the intention to this is we don't want you to never be able to match up with somebody just because you're at a high level or a high rank. But we want to give it a bit of time. So there you go. It eventually broke down and matched me with this weak character. If you look at the window now, you can see that we're marked as in a fight. Everyone would see it this way in the queue. They'll see who's currently fighting and who's just sitting in queue. If someone wants to watch, they can click on either card and it'll actually make you spectate that person in the arena. And yeah, you'll see there's a time limit too. And so time limit I think is 15 minutes. And if you hit 15 minutes right now, the way it's configured is it'll sum up all your wounds and stamina loss and compare it and deem the victor. One of the things I thought was really important, and you'll kind of notice this, that the guard doesn't have 500 elo anymore. We take the elo away the second the match starts, so if someone disconnects, they don't like avoid a hit to their rank. Similarly, if they disconnect, the other person would collect the pot. So basically, your rank goes into a pot on the server and is doled out. Now, if you're at a higher position like I am, you lose way more elo to fight someone at a lower rank and level. And so it's much more costly if I lost this fight than for the person fighting me. So let's just win this fight very quickly using, let's say, some of the more broken things I have in my arsenal. Boom, dead. So I'm probably going to win this fight. And, yeah, there it goes. It pops up automatically, shows I'm a winner, they're a loser. If I had the text pane open, it would share how much elo has been gained. And, yeah, I'm out of the queue now. And they are also out of the queue lying on the ground dead. They'd be sent to the hospital or healed or what have you. So that's the basic system. There's a 2v2 built in as well. The idea as well is to have sort of tournaments with this arena system. And all the tournament would basically do is when your match starts, or when the tournament starts, once it's started, nobody else can join the arena system. It'd be closed off to new entrants. And when you win a fight, you'd stay in the queue. Whereas if you lost the fight, you'd be booted out. And then it would have some level of waiting for the next round of fights to be finished before matching you up. There might be some quality of life stuff where they let you matchmake ahead of time, but probably not. Because bracketed tournaments are a little bit trickier. But that's the general idea. Tournaments, 1v1s, 2v2s. That's what's coming out on, early days. So I want to show you the 2v2s because it's slightly different looking. I have a verb that allows me to force these people into 2v2s. I'm going to go force pair. I'm going to make them fight with some random NPC. And then I'm going to get myself a leaf guard on my team too. I'm going to go force pair. And I make them forced to play with me. Great. Now if I go to the arena window, you'll see two 2v2s are in there. The 2v2s are denoted by the fact that there's a blue outline. So that doesn't mean they're fighting, it just means they're on a team. And the only way a 2v2 can start is obviously for two teams of two to be in the queue. Now that there is one, again, it'll add my rank and level and my teammates and compare it against the combined team. And we have a way stronger team. So unsurprisingly, it's going to wait a little while, hoping another 2v2 comes. They did not. So there we go. Now we're in a fight, and it looks like this, right? Our team's the red team, they're the blue team. There's a timer, etc. Same sort of idea. And again, I'm probably going to win this fight because they are NPCs and they're not trying to fight me right now. Ooh. This guy is strong. There we go. Really hard fight. We win, they lose, we get the elo, we get the experience, we get the money, as intended. It takes a few seconds to let everyone know that you won. Trash talk can continue. You can also pick your arena. So one of the cool things about this arena system, old systems just had set arenas, and if they were being used, you couldn't matchmake. That's not the case now. We have a system in place where there are multiple template arenas, and on this server right now there's only two. And what happens is you can pick your arena. So I have the option of random, forest, or tune-in exam. If I pick tune-in exam, when I match with somebody, there's going to be a coin flip, 50-50 chance that their preference is going to get picked or my preference is going to get picked on the map. And it's going to spawn, it's going to copy and paste that template and make a brand new instance for our fight. So there's no chance that the queue is going to be held up based on other people playing. You could have 300 people on the server all playing in the arena like crazy, and nothing would be impeded, other than waiting a few extra seconds if there's nobody suitable to matchmake with. So that's how it works. It's pretty simple. It's pretty flexible. There's nothing stopping us from putting in 4v4s, more complicated tournaments. There's nothing really stopping us from even putting some of the mechanics of the tune-in exam in here, such as elo and level matching. But, I don't think that that's a thing that needs a ton of love. Yeah, so if you click 2v2, it makes a pop-up that says, who do you want to be on a team with. So the arena system's pretty good. A few of the things that I thought to do that I thought were clever was every 1,000 elo, you hit sort of a little bit of a plateau. And what I mean by that is if you lose a fight, and let's say you're supposed to lose 100 elo and you're at 1,001, there's these little cutoffs that say you can't go below a multiple of 1,000 without losing a fight at exactly that amount. So if I'm at 1,001 and I lose the fight, I only lose one of my elo, and I go to 1,000. If I lose the second fight in a row, I'll derank to the next 1,000 bracket. That's to stop people from losing rank just because they're matching against people that are technically lower rank than them, and then they're winning half their fights, they're still deranking. So you have to lose 2 fights in a row, no matter what, to lose one of those 1,000 elo plateaus. So I think that's a clever thing. We're going to see how that pans out. If you're winning every other fight anyway, you probably shouldn't be deranking. But that was the idea. The other idea was this system takes 3 things into account to determine whether or not to match you: level, elo rank, and how many times you've fought with that person that day. If obviously you might have suitable matches, but if you fought them 3 times already that day, it's going to really try not to have you match against that person. If you're the only 2 in the queue, it'll eventually match you. But your prizes and your elo transfer are going to get lower and lower every time you fight that person, to the point where if you've already fought them 5 times that day, it really falls off a bit of a cliff. That's to prevent abuse, prevent people from finding hours when very few people are online and just grinding 1v1s with their buddy and purposely throwing or whatever. So it's not going to work. And not only is this system doing that, it also matches on IP addresses. So if you're trying to make a bunch of alt accounts and do that to avoid that, you're going to have a bad time. It's going to be way more work than it's worth, and it's going to be really detectable, and you're going to get in trouble. So yeah, that's the stuff I thought to put into an arena system, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think the card system adds a level of fun. I love the idea of having tournaments where when you beat people in a tournament, you get a copy of their card as a proof of beating them in a structured tournament. And so I also like the idea of tournament winning, giving you badges for your card to show off with. So lots of little fun things that we're going to work on and over time add more to, because it's a really scalable system. But I hope you liked it. I hope it looks fun to you. And yeah, we'll see it online, see how it actually plays out.